Hello, this is Dr. Hassan Abdullah with the course Web Applications Programming, which is topic 8 of this course. Now, this topic 8 covers a number of fundamental web programming techniques. Fundamental, I will explain. So, that consists of HTML, that consists of CSS, cascading style sheets, and a relatively new entrant, which is Bootstrap programming. So, basically, this is a single topic, but since the diversity in the topic, that topic is divided into three subtopics. So the topic or the lecture 8A is HTML programming. So as with the other lectures, with the video lectures, this is based upon and utilizes the supplemental website, which is a personalized learning management system. And this personalized learning management system has six key features, and those features are explained using six videos, and those videos are available at the address on your screen, and these videos are also available which explain the working of this personalized learning management system on YouTube. If you go to YouTube and type my name, Dr. Hassan Abdullah, it will take you to my official channel where these videos are also available. So these videos show how to perform advanced text search, and how to perform hierarchical search in all the content of this course, and if there are any visual disabilities, how to overcome them, and of course track the progress of your working through this course using this tool, of course, and practicing the practice MCQs, the quizzes also, and the list goes on. And of course it is optimized for mobile smartphones if you rotate the phone and the device also. The other wonderful thing about this approach is that it uses the question and answer based approach, which is a proactive approach, which is based upon adaptability also, and it is based upon real life problem instead of the ancient approach of showing you the title of the topics and the subtopics and so on. So this is a very powerful techniques and powerful tools which are available at your fingertips, and I urge you to use all of them and to make the most of them. So this is the list of topics which are included in this course, and we are at topic number 8, HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap programming. Now, this basically topic 8A that covers. You can see there are 15 of the questions and answers. Now, every question and answer is a concept, as a matter of fact. So, and every concept consists of a statement. Then there are the bullets, and then there is an overview of the bullets, then the description of the bullets, and then there could be a diagram also if needed, and the references also. So in 8A, we will be covering the first 5 Q&A. And of course, we will, for this purpose, we will go to the main supplemental website where we will be doing all the work, right? So we start with the first Q&A of HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap programming. So what is client-side programming? So client-side basically, client is your device. You are the client, and interchangeably the device is also called as the client. So that could be a smartphone, that could be a laptop, that could be a PC. So the program which runs on the client, the program that runs on your smartphone, that's the client, like the JavaScript, like HTML, like CSS, like Bootstrap. So this is all client-side programming. So we'll also discuss how client-side programming works, which uses the processing power of the device which you have, and what are the basics which, or what can be done, what cannot be done, and common client-side programming languages like HTML, like CSS, and I've mentioned JavaScript also. And the difference between client-side versus server-side programming. Server-side programming is, for example, SQL is server-side programming, PHP is server-side, Python is server-side programming. And what are the benefits of the client-side programming? For example, one of the benefits is that you don't have to engage the server. Number one. Number two is that you don't have to use traffic across the network, so it's fast. So the details. So what I have just mentioned is details are given here. So basically, essentially, we have JavaScript and we have HTML and CSS. They play an essential role. Okay. and over the period of time, right, we have been other entrants also, right? And of course, they provide performance. One of them is the performance advantage. So client side programming, let me clear this up. So client side programming, writing code that runs on the user's device, which is the browser. Okay, and it interacts between the user and the website seamlessly. Right? So you have your client, then you have the website, and that interaction is through the client side program. And what do you have? You have HTML provides the structure of the web page. So this is like the bone structure, the equivalence to the bone. So HTML provides the structure, and the CSS handles the page's layout and appearance. So CSS is like the skin or the muscle, right? And JavaScript, along with libraries of React frameworks like Angular, interactivity. So JavaScript is like the brain. Okay, so of course all of them together come up with something which is very unique. All right, so what else do we have? Okay, so client side versus server side programming. Benefits of client side programming I've already mentioned here. What are those benefits? Making interactions faster and more responsive. There's no traffic across the network, and reduces the load on the server. Right? For example, form validation which is done by JavaScript, and content rendering, assigning colors and shades and other things as required. So that is done at the client end without engaging the server. So this is a certain type of a layout, right? And these layouts can be very useful for Bootstrap, okay? And this results into a good structure and a good response also. So we'll discuss more when we move on to Bootstrap. Okay. So, and if you're interested, here are some more references. So how HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap programming, how they are related together. How they are related together. HTML provides the structure, as I mentioned before. It is the structure, right? And equivalence is the bone structure. Or maybe, for example, HTML is the structure when you have seen construction workers, they make a house, so they put up a structure. That structure is HTML. Okay, then CSS adds the style. So once they have the structure, then they hammer different type of the walls, different types of the ceiling, different types of the roof, and so on. So that the CSS adds the style. And Bootstrap simplifies the design. So Bootstrap basically comes up with using CSS, HTML, and JavaScript, predefined predefined models, predefined buttons, many things which are predefined. So instead of going into detail, you just use them, call them in your program. So in the context of that making a house, so you have windows, you have doors, and you have other things for the wall structure, internal and external. It is prefabricated. You don't have to hammer it. So that's it. So in the world of web development, okay, HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap form the foundational trio. Okay, and of course, I mentioned about the structure. I mentioned about the style. So HTML, okay, is the structure, and this CSS is the style, right? And of course, Bootstrap is the front end framework. Framework basically is that you don't have to go into the detail of coding anything. You should know how to call it, right? Which is very simple. So it has provide the components like buttons, very nice buttons, modals which we'll discuss, pop-up boxes, grids, navigation bars, very powerful, and it cut downs on the coding time. It simplifies the process of building visually consistent, because you have those buttons, you have those types of buttons, so that with every type there's a color associated with it. and people who are new, they need rapid development. Okay, so you can do rapid development work using uh, uh, Bootstrap. So I said that HTML provides the structure. And how does that provides the structure? It provides the structure, for example, to those headings, right, which tell us the size of the text, and it identifies a paragraph, it identifies a hyperlink, and an image also, and a form, right? And this and other crucial pieces of information support search engine optimization, all right? So this is the structure. Now CSS adds the style. How does it add the style? It adds the style by bringing a web page to life visually. Okay, of course that word visual is not in a literal meaning, and it can make text look stand out, and for example using flexbox and using grid also, and you can move the mouse on the buttons and they will change color, and there's a lot of fancy thing which can be done, and a lot of interactivity can be added using CSS, and you can add transitions also, and you can also add animations also if needed. Don't overdo it. Okay, don't overdo it as per requirement. Now Bootstrap simplifies the design. And how it simplifies the design? By pre-designed front end toolkit, okay, which was developed by Twitter engineers. And the ecosystem of Bootstrap includes JavaScript based components, right? Like drop downs and alerts, and which makes it very interactive, and without writing complex custom scripts, because whenever you start writing script, you start making mistakes. So the benefit of Bootstrap is that it accelerates learning and productivity. So let me share with you the analogy which I've been mentioning before. So we have this is the chases. This is the structure of the car chases, and this is HTML. Okay, this is HTML, and this is the body. You just and is this body consists of a CSS also, and this body consists of a Bootstrap also, because you just pick this body and put it on the chases, and in between is the engine is JavaScript. So together they go kind of hand in hand. Okay, so that's how they go about it. So what is HTML, and why do we still use and need HTML? HTML, the role of HTML in web development with reference to the structure that I have explained, and it forms the foundation of the web pages. So this is the chassis of the car, which is the foundation of the car, and HTML forms the foundation of the web pages. And of course, HTML has evolved over the period of time. HTML 5.0, and it has many features. The features which used to be implemented using JavaScript or other things, now they are part of the latest version of HTML. And the role of now search engine optimization is kind of getting old, right? But still it is around, and it is going to be around for a while. And there are a number of reasons why SEO is getting old. But HTML helps in search engine in getting the organic traffic or organic ranking on SEO. And of course, HTML and cross browser compatibility. Almost all the browsers, they can read and they can execute HTML. So if you have your structure in HTML, it is like kind of standard, and it integrates with CSS and JavaScript also. So some details here. We don't need to understand remember what is the definition. Okay, but it creates the structures. Okay, headings and paragraphs, and which I have already mentioned, images and links and browsers and so on. And of course, it tells the browser how to display the text, how to display the images. Okay, and it is essential. Okay, and it has to be done correctly, rendered correctly by the browser.
And every website, whether it's static or dynamic, relies on HTML. Now remember one thing, that the dynamic website will still be in HTML. Static will be in HTML. The difference is that for the static website, whatever the structure was in the first place, that is going to remain the same until the programmer or somebody changes it. In a dynamic website, the HTML is generated by the server, so that's why it's dynamic. But the browser does not understand. Okay, what is happening? The browser can understand HTML, right? The browser can understand HTML. You have a page which has PHP, okay, extension .php. Your browser, if the server crashes, your browser cannot make sense of PHP. It is the server which adds life to that PHP and converts it into HTML. So remember that dynamic, this is still HTML. So we are not going anywhere from HTML in the foreseeable future. And HTML supports the tags like the header tag, the footer tag, and the article tag. Okay, and that helps people with disabilities. Of course, this application which you are using, if you look at the videos, so this goes way beyond ahead of this disabilities, because if the people are if the users are visually impaired, then this easymcq.com, you log in and you can set the font, the size, and the color and line spacing and so on. So that helps a lot. And so you see that cross browser compatibility is there, and this is one way of understanding what I've just explained. So basically we have at the highest level we have HTML. Okay, so this is the starting tag, this is the ending tag, and within HTML we have the head. Okay, head tags. So these things are not usually shown in a browser, but they are executed by the browser. And then we have this body start and body end, and within the body we have this tag which is the size h1, and then we have h2, and then we have paragraph and so on. And then within this head we have the title. Okay, and we have the style css also. We can have other scripts also within the head. This is the structure of a page, an HTML page. So what is the purpose of the head tag in an HTML page? It contains the metadata. What is metadata? Metadata is the data about the data itself, and it links to external sources. So if I'm using bootstrap buttons, or if I'm using fonts, certain fonts, so this basically within the head are the links to those external sources. So those external sources are read, and then the browser makes sense out of the fonts you are using or the icons you are using. Defines the page style. That style is the CSS, and those styles are there are a lot of details there when we do CSS also. Links to embedded JavaScript. Okay, so you can have a link in the head, and we have JavaScript, and that JavaScript is called somewhere where it is located as per that link, and specifies the character encoding also. So it has the metadata, right, and it has the links style. Okay, and then it has the script also for JavaScript, and the style sheets also. The link for style sheet is style also. And we have the head. Inside has the title tag, defines the title of the web page, which is displayed in the browser, right? And we have these other tags also, links to embedded JavaScript for interactivity, for animation. Okay, and we have this information about the UTF-8 tag and variety of characters and so on. It's like font awesome also, Fafa font and so on. So if you are interested in details, more details, the details are given here. Okay, so let's get down to some let's kind of do some hands-on work. So give HTML code to create a simple and complex contact us form, and then explain the working of that form. So what we need to do is the document the structure and the meta tags. So we define them. and we define the action and the method also what's going to happen. And then we have, this is a contact us form, so the form will have name field, and that name field will be first name or the last name. And then we have the email field, so email field is going to check for the @ and other telltale signs of an email. And then we have the message field, which is the text area, and where you can put more than the name, okay, text box with placeholders. And of course radio buttons also for gender. Radio button is, if you have a group of radio buttons, only one of them can be active at one time. Then you can have a priority drop down menu also, so to cut down on the typing, cut down on mistakes. You can also have check boxes also, so multiple values can be there. And then you have a submit button, and submit button then takes this whatever you have prepared to a form where certain action takes place. So so we start with the doc type HTML, which I have shown you before, and the language is English, and the metadata is UTF-8. And then you meta name, viewport, content, width, device width, initial scale 0. This is very important. Why is it very important? Because this is for mobile devices, setting the viewpoint width to the device width. So if you rotate the phone, that takes care of it. Is very important. You should understand it. Okay. And title of the page, which is displayed in the browser as the contact form. So the form has all the input fields, right? And it has that submit, and those what are the input fields which I just mentioned before. And the method post. The method post is send the form data, which sends the data securely in the request body. And of course there is the method post, and there is the method get also. So the method get basically, I don't know if I mentioned it here or not, but the method get basically shows what is being passed in the URL, and it has own its advantages and disadvantages. Same is true for the method post also. All right. So then we have this text input. This is a text box, and then we have this basically p tag names also, and it kind of breaks the text also. You can have p also, and you can have other fields also. Okay, I think it's span. So you don't have to remember anything. You just there are many tools which can do this for you. And then you have uh, uh, the the tag to open it, and the tag to close it also. And the email field, so you type, the type is email, so that it checks for @. And of course if you set it required, then it becomes mandatory. And then is the message field, so you set the size of the text, the width and the height and the number of rows, and make it required or not, so it's up to you. Box and the gender of the, so you see that you have this type, okay, input type radio. You have its ID is male, okay, name is gender. And of course this is a, since it's a radio, right, so the type is same, okay. And you can have multiple sets of radio buttons also, and the values also. And and the label also, the drop down menu. So this is how it looks like. It's a simple one. So you have this text box, and you have the message, and in the complex you provide the gender also, a priority as a drop down, and a submit button. So this has a more functionality. This is less functionality, and you can basically copy paste from here, and you can generate these forms also, right? And you basically, this is submitted. And if it was PHP, you could have had a name of the form which is being called with this data, okay. So here we have, this is for the first 5 questions, and then we move on to the next set of questions.